welcome to another episode of Tracy Takes On, the show that talks all things politics. I am joined after a bad case of whatever it was I had last week. I'm joined by my panelist, Charles, this evening, and we're going to get right to it. The variant is just going out of control with the redder states tending to have more. I don't know how many is there in Arizona, but we've had about 1,000 new cases of COVID come up basically because of non-vaccinated people. What at this point, what is it that people can do besides masking up?
Well, first off, I don't think it should be blamed just on non-vaccinated people. Anybody can acquire the virus, regardless if you vaccinated or not. You know, this thing started when people took off their masks for the 4th of July, and then a couple of weeks later, now it's surging, but they want to say it's non-vaccinated people. You get vaccinated or not, that might stop you from dying, but that doesn't stop you from getting the disease and passing it on to somebody else. People walking around here with no masks that are causing this.
Well, and I say because of vaccinated, it's because if you look at the majority of cases, 95% of them, a good, almost, I want to say 99% are people who have not been vaccinated. True, there are people who have been vaccinated who have unfortunately gotten COVID again, or they've passed on from it. But those cases are so rare that...
Well, I think you need to listen to what the government is telling. What they're telling you is that most of the people that are being hospitalized are the ones that are non-vaccinated, but they aren't telling you the number of people who are acquiring it, if they were vaccinated or not. They're not giving you that number. And they said this stuff is about contagious as the chicken pox, so that pretty much tells me that anybody can get it. It's how that vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting the virus. That vaccine just helps you deal with the virus.
Yep, and what do you make about, which I knew was going to be coming, employers now mandating that either you provide proof of your vaccination or you had to get tested for COVID on a consistent basis?
Well, you know what? Even if I had been vaccinated or not vaccinated, I wouldn't object to getting tested weekly, on a consistent basis, just for my comfort to know that I don't have it today.
Yeah, oh boy, I have some feelings about that, because part of me can see why they would say that, but part of me says that these employers are just greedy corporations rushing people back to work when I don't think that we're particularly ready to go back the way we were.
Well, they're not forcing people to come back. They're telling you this is what you have to do if you come back. Obviously, they can get other people to do the job. If there was a shortage of people, then I don't think they would be able to push that agenda onto their employees. But because they know they don't have a shortage at the moment, that they can do this. And then in Houston, the court said, they sided with the hospital that if you wanted to work there, you had to be vaccinated.
Yeah, a lot of health systems here are starting to do, I don't know why they didn't start off with that. making them do this from the start. But I guess they figured everybody has individual rights. I'm like, why not? Who wants to go to the hospital visiting someone if you can, and then you come out having COVID? Who? Nobody wants to go through that.
Well, I'm sure they, in the beginning, they probably felt that everybody would just voluntarily comply with this vaccine the way they were trying to sell it to the public. But, it's people that still don't trust the vaccine because it's still in its trials,
And then what's even more frustrating is now Pfizer's talking about a booster that you'll need. And I'm like, well, that's 3 injections.
So that's telling me they really don't know what they're doing it, and then they're just playing it day by day. When these experts, they don't really know what they're doing because it was these experts that said it was cool to take the mask off for the 4th of July. We had turned the corner. We turned the corner because people had been masking up. The virus wasn't gone, it was just lower numbers, but it's still there. If it's one person that has it, then the possibility of it spreading is great.
Yeah, but
So,
what's scaring me though is schools are starting to open, and I know in our district, city wide, they have mask mandates, but not there's some school districts in the state that they're saying no, you don't have to wear a mask. We're not going to allow masks. You have
I don't know if they're not allowing masks, they're just not making you.
oh no, there's some here in Indiana that are literally banning masks, banning them,
Really?
like saying your child cannot wear them. And also Florida has it where you cannot tell, well, they have where you can't tell a child to wear a mask. If the child wants to, they can.
Well, I mean, that's up to the parent. If the parent wants to send their child off and risk a life, then, I guess that speaks to the character of the parent. If the child dies, then, don't be crying.
Yeah.
Wear that mask protects you. It doesn't protect another person, it protects you. And if you choose not to wear it, then that's on you. Even if they banned it, you know, uh, I would still have my child wear his mask at school.
I think I
If they
would too.
send them home, pretty soon, if enough people do it, then the last thing the schools want is bad news, negative, seen as negative, for the whole world to see. So,
Mm. And I guess they went through the courts and finally figured out that Joe Biden does not have the authority to do a mandatory mask mandate, although for federal employees he does, and they've already exercised that. They've either said you have to have the COVID vaccine, or if you don't have it, you'll be tested. I believe it's every other day. I forget how many days a week they're going to be tested.
well,
Um,
that's fine. God, they're gonna spend a whole lot of money on
that's
testing.
a lot of taxpayer money going towards testing.
But if yeah, right, he can do it for the federal. And I've been saying all along that the federal government only has so much power to tell the state what's to do. If it's not in the Constitution, then the federal government doesn't have any power over the state. So uh, yeah, wear your mask. I'm surprised that he didn't go the route like in Houston. They said, well, if you don't get vaccinated, you you'll be you'll lose your job. You know, so but he's not saying that for the VA. At least they're not saying that right yet. things change. It seemed like things change every day.
And
And
I wish the CDC would get its messaging straight. Because if you're just a regular person, you're like, okay, they told us first we didn't have to wear masks, so we took our mask off. Then the surgeons now they want us to wear. Okay, no, no. I mean, I did not stop wearing my mask. Even during the July 4th time, I was still wearing it because I'm like, nope, I don't trust people to get their vaccines, so I'm gonna still keep wearing mine. But that's to the average person, that's so confusing. It's like they don't know what it is that they're trying to say, and when they say it, it contradicts what they've already said. I'm like, okay, let's get the messaging right. Let's do that correctly.
well, and then it depends on where you're getting your information, because